Ooh, hello. Hey everybody, what's up? It's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel. So, I haven't seen you guys today and I thought I'd pop on and tell you how I've been doing on my keto lifestyle change. So, this morning I went to work, and when I woke up this morning I had a big glass of water and I didn't eat any breakfast, which probably wasn't a good idea because you know, I'm supposed to eat 3 meals a day, but I didn't. So, shame on me. But I didn't get any snacks, and I went to work, and I came home, and I made a big, giant salad, just like the one I showed you guys the other day, and I had that for lunch. And then, I don't want them to see him. Then, this evening for dinner, I made pork chops, asparagus, and those little itty bitty potatoes, and
my butt cheeks.
Oh Lord,
we ate butt cheeks.
So I'm feeling really good. I've been sticking to it, except for last night I relapsed on a brownie because Neil bought snack cakes and he didn't tell me about it for 2 days, and then he called me and told me that there's snack cakes up above the refrigerator. So you know what I did? I relapsed. I went and ate those brownies and they were delicious. So that kind of started me. It's not so much that like I just ruined my whole diet, but it was like I was trying to stay away from it. I'm trying to not eat sugar, and especially processed snacks like that. So, but it's okay. I'm back on track now, and I've had a healthy dinner today, had a healthy lunch, and we went to the park, and Nate played, and we've just been spending time together and watching movies. Neil's been watching Netflix. Nate's been playing with the next door neighbors, and I've just been relaxing. So that's it. I just want to check in with you guys and let you guys know what was going on. I saw somebody named Amy Les commented some questions about like if I ever feel like sad and if I like think about like old things I used to do in my past that, you know, do I like think about them and do they affect me? And Amy, I want to tell you, like, yeah, I struggle a lot with remembering the stuff that I did when I was in my active addiction. And one of the main things that really affects me the most is when my son got taken away. I think about that a lot, and I have a lot of guilt over that. And the guilt affects me to where, like, sometimes I won't follow through with disciplining my son, and I'll buy him too many toys, and he's turning into a spoiled rotten toot because of it. But for the most part, I'm pretty, like, I've retrained my brain to wake up in the morning and be positive, and I make a gratitude list, and I think about all the things that I have to be grateful for, because for so long I didn't have a place to live, you guys. Like, I was homeless, you know, just junkie. So a lot of the stuff that I used to struggle with because I was active in my addiction, I've learned not to give that negativity any thought. Like, I really try to push through it. You guys see when I'm struggling because I will upload when I'm having a hard time, and we all talk about it, and that helps me. Like, I can tell you the main thing that helps me the most when I am struggling with being depressed or overthinking my past actions is getting on here and talking about it. So yeah, and that's one of the main things. The reason I titled this video How to Stop Relapsing is because I feel like the answer to I just feel like the answer to how to stop relapsing is to get connected to other people and get a connection with your you know, higher power, get your spiritual side connected, and then get connected to other people and the fellowship. And like I've heard this saying before, that the opposite of addiction is connection, because my addiction wants me to isolate and, you know, keep secrets and be away from people and to hide in, you know, in the bathroom shooting up drugs all night long. And, you know, the opposite of that for me is spending time with people that are sober and having positive people in my life and working a job and going to meetings and talking to my sponsor. I called my sponsor today, y'all. And we had the best talk, and she was just like, I was telling her about the step study that we're doing here on YouTube, and I told her we just finished step 2 last night, and she said that she was proud of me for doing that. And she was like, asked me how it was going, and I told her, I said, it really is helping me so much, because what happens is I read their comments and I read how, you know, where they're at in their recovery, and it helps me to remember where I was when I first started the steps, and it helps me to see, you know, how grateful I am to be in recovery and to be able to get on here and like talk about the steps with you guys and help somebody else, you know.
Okay.
But so we talked for like 45 minutes on my way to work, and then when I got there, we talked, you know, and it was a good conversation. So she said that she's just said I'm doing a great job. She's proud of me. Just keep it up, and to call her because I told her, I said, I've been really struggling with just like wondering if I'm asking for too much. Like, is it too much to want to feel like energized? Am I wanting to feel high energized, or am I wanting to feel just like regular person energy? Like, I don't know, but I feel like I've been thinking about it, and somebody also commented down about my hepatitis, and they're right. Like, I have got to get my hep C treated, because that also causes like me to be lethargic, and I haven't even been thinking about that. I totally forget that I have it, you know, and I have to get it treated. So once I get that treated, I'll be able to, you know, I'll probably have a lot more energy, and I'll feel a lot differently. But so that's one of the things that affects me with like my energy level, I'm sure, because I've had it for like 3 years now, and it's gone untreated for 3 years. So I've got to get to the doctor and get my liver levels. My doctor just checked them last week, and they were high. They were elevated. So of course they are, because I have hep. And so doctor, because I already have one, and like do this thing and send the request in for the medicine so I can get the medicine. Because now, hey Cher, now there's like a cure that you can, you know, take the medicine for 90 days and you will be cured of hepatitis. So that's what I'm going to do. But I just wanted to kind of fill you guys in on how my diet was doing. I've been talking to Roberta in the mornings, like texting back and forth with her, and she's been helping me stay accountable with not like eating sugar stuff. Hey Misty, how are you doing, girl? Are you all right? I've been seeing your posts in the MAC group, and I wanted to, I think I commented on one that you said that you've been feeling down. And what's up, girl? What's going on? You want to talk about it? So I was thinking, do you guys want to do step 3 tonight, or do y'all? Yeah, I guess we could. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. We're 8 minutes in, so we need to get on it. So, oh no, just here on Messenger. I'm glad, hun. My depression and anxiety has been up and down lately. Yes. Oh my gosh. I can totally relate. I understand. Depression sucks. I asked Neil, I was like, can you tell that I good. I just got done going to get my meds adjusted last week, and I went down 10 milligrams on my Lexapro. Did I tell you that? So I feel like I feel better. Okay, so let's go ahead and just do step 3. Let's read that. I'm not spending like a really long time on these, you guys. Just getting the whole gist of things, okay? Okay, here's step 3. Are y'all ready? Let's go. Where's Jordan? Jordan, are you here? Step 3. Made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. Okay. Hey, will you lower that? Or put on earphones? Do you want these earphones?
Sure.
Okay. There you go. Because no matter what, I'm going to be talking. Okay, here we go, guys. Practicing step 3 is like the opening of a door, which to all appearances is closed and locked. All we need is a key and the decision to swing the door open. There is only one key, and it is called willingness. I love reading this to you guys, because y'all hear what I'm always saying. I'm saying, what are the 3 things that you need to have, you guys, when you're ready to get sober and clean? You need to be honest, you need to be open-minded, and willingness. And what does that spell? How? H-O-W. Honest, open-minded, and willing. Okay, so, and I learned these things, like I've learned these little like things to represent the sayings and stuff all, through recovery, like working with different sponsors, going to different treatment centers, over the years. But for the first time, this, since I've been trying to get clean, because I've been trying for a really long time to, like, get my life together, y'all, for a long time. And this is the first time that I've ever understood what the words were saying, because before, like, I would read out of this book and stuff, and I would be so confused, and I would not even understand what it was saying. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was almost like it was in Japanese or something. Once unlocked by willingness, the door opens almost of itself, and looking through it, we shall see a pathway beside which is an inscription, and it reads, "This is the way to a faith that works." In the first two steps, we were engaged in reflection. So in the first two steps, we were reflecting back on our life when we were in our active addiction. We were looking back and seeing how our life had become unmanageable because of our drug use. We were looking back at the consequences that our continued drug use had caused us, all the negative consequences that it had caused. Because I don't know about you guys, I know I didn't have any good consequences from using drugs. Everything was bad. And it might not have started right away, but let me tell you, everything came to a head and everything ended up turning bad news bears. So we were doing our reflection in steps 1 and 2, and we saw that we were powerless over alcohol, but we also perceived that faith of some kind, if only in the program itself, is possible to anyone. So we looked back at our powerlessness, and we reflected on the consequences and the negativity that our addiction caused us, and unmanageability, okay? And then we also learned that even if you don't believe in Jesus or God, even if you're atheist or agnostic, you can get faith. You can have faith. Even if it's faith in the program, if it's faith in the universe, if it's faith in Mother Nature. I know that when I first started my recovery, step 3 was hard for me. I had lost my faith and struggled to recover it. Hey, the Oklahoma, I did too. And when we were talking about it yesterday, I was telling everybody, like, because I was in such a, like, strict religious background when I was younger. My mom was really strict Pentecostal, and we couldn't cut our hair. We couldn't wear, we couldn't wear jeans or any kind of shorts. We had to wear only, like, long dresses past our knees, and we had to keep my hair was really long, no makeup, no earrings. And so my idea of God was that he was this big, giant white man sitting on a throne up in heaven, and he had, like, this stick in his hand, like this big scepter. And if you were bad, he would shoot down to the earth and shoot, like, he would discipline you, like, bam, you don't do that, like a big authoritative disciplinarian kind of God. Like, not a sweet, my idea of God wasn't, like, loving and open and tender and wants to just have my attention like I know he is now. He was like this big, mean, powerful, mean, authoritative teacher kind of God, And so that was, like, the idea, because when I was younger, my mom would always tell me, if you have sex before you get married, you're going to go to hell. And so it was almost like God was the kind of God that would, like, either you were doing good or he was punishing you and you were going to hell, So, and it says in the big book, when it talks about how we all have a fundamental idea of God, and all of our ideas are different, you know what I mean? And that's why, like, even if you don't even believe at all, if you are totally, not believing God, you can have faith in something bigger than you. And that's really what it's all about, is putting faith in something other than yourself, and letting go of the control, and letting go of trying to run the show. And for me, that was the hardest thing I think I've ever done, because letting go of control, I still have problems with it, you guys. And what step 3 is all about is turning our will over. And you guys, I think you guys hear me talk about how I will take my will back halfway through the day, and then things will start going awry. I'll start calling Neil and saying, "Where are you at?" Like accusing him of doing stuff he's not even doing. And that's me taking my will back and taking that control and trying to run the show. And when Nicole tries to run the show, and Nicole tries to like tell everybody to do and obsesses over things that don't even need to be worried about, that's when I'm taking my will back. And that's when God starts letting things go badly for me, and it gets uncomfortable. And I'm like, oh God, look at me. I'm taking my will back again. But it's a constant, like, I have to work on it every day. Like, I don't think I'm ever going to just be like, here's my will. And just because I'm human. I'm not perfect. And that's the whole program, and working the steps is about trying to be better every day. Like, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to, like, be a model AA'er. Just as long as you're trying to be the best you can be, and trying to walk in your higher power's light. Like, walk the way you would think he would walk, So, okay, I'm getting on a tangent. Here we go. Okay, so these conclusions did not require action. They required only acceptance. Okay, here. This is the way to a faith that works. In the first 2 steps, we were engaged in reflection. We saw that we were powerless over alcohol, but we also perceived that faith of some kind, if only in AA itself, is possible to anyone. These conclusions did not require action. They required only acceptance. So we haven't even gotten into the steps where we're like doing stuff. Like, okay, so here we go. Like all the remaining steps, step 3 calls for affirmative action. For it is only by action that we can cut away the self-will which has blocked the entry of God, or, if you like, a higher power into our lives. Faith, to be sure, is necessary, but faith alone can avail nothing. We can have faith, yet keep God out of our lives. Therefore, our problem now becomes just how and by what specific means shall we be able to let him in. Step 3 represents our first attempt to do this. In fact, the effectiveness of the whole AA program will rest upon how well and earnestly we have tried to come to a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood him. So the whole rest of the steps is really gonna, like, this step 3 is like the foundation of the rest of the steps. And this is the steps 1, 2, and 3 are the bottom step, and then these are the steps, the rest of the steps are going up. And so, like, turning your will over to your higher power is going to help you, like in your step 4, whenever you go to meet with your sponsor and do your step 4 and 5, because you're going to sit there and you're going to be with your sponsor, and you're going to be nervous, and you're not going to want to talk about the things that you need to talk about. But when you're going to ask your higher power, and he's going to give you the strength. You guys, it's just like the experience that I had doing my step 3 when I sat there with my sponsor and we said the step 3 prayer, which I'm going to look up right now so I can read it to you guys. I had these chills come all over my body, and I just thought, I'm doing it. Like, I'm actually trying to do it. I'm actually turning, like, I'm going to try and change my behaviors. I'm going to turn my will over. And I was still going to Walmart and stealing stuff. This is when I first got sober, you guys. I was still walking into Walmart and stealing stuff off the shelves. I was still going into Kroger and stealing stuff. And this is before I did my 3rd step. And I can remember it too, because I did my 3rd step, and then I started making progress in not trying to do those things like stealing and lying and being just like obsessive. And I don't know if I noticed that I was making the change, but it started happening. Like, something happened, and I started to become so self-aware of what I was doing in my life that it, like, almost made me feel uncomfortable because I was like, wow, I've got so much I need to work on. You know, I've been doing these bad behaviors for so long. Like, I didn't even think anything of it to walk in and like steal stuff off the shelf at Walmart, you know? And after doing step 3 and like really, really opening myself up to my higher power and really, really, really saying, I want to do right and I want to walk in your faith and your light. It was like my conscience like opened up and I would say, oh, Nicole, you don't need to do that. You know what I mean? It was just so profound because I had never felt like that before. Like, I didn't have a conscience for so long because I had blocked it out. And that's exactly what step 3 is like for me. Step 3 is like your conscience that you used to have sitting on your shoulder saying, Nicole, that's not good. You don't need to do that. You know, and you blocked it out and you knocked that one off here. So there was no conscience there. It's just the devil. Step 3 is like knocking the devil off your shoulder and bringing that angel back there to walk with you through every day. And that's exactly what it was like, because before I had pushed back that voice that would say, you know, Nicole, maybe you shouldn't do that. Or, Nicole, you don't have to have sex with men for drugs. Or, Nicole, you don't need to steal that. That voice that I would have in my mind used to be there. It wasn't there anymore. And when I worked step 3, that voice came back. You know, it knocked the devil voice off and that angel voice came back. And it was like I got my conscience back. And it was not even mine. It was God with me. It was God giving me that self-awareness and that ability to say, you know, I can do differently. I don't have to live like this anymore. So, okay. To every worldly and practical-minded beginner, this step looks hard, even impossible. No matter how much one wishes to try, exactly how can he turn his own will and his own life over to the care of whatever God he thinks there is? Fortunately, we who have tried it, and with equal misgivings, can testify that anyone at all, can begin to do it. We can further add that a beginning, even the smallest, is all that is needed. Once we have placed the key of will lightly open, we find that we can always open it some more. Though self-will may slam it shut again, as it frequently does, it will always respond the moment we pick up the key of willingness. Maybe this all sounds mysterious and remote, something like Einstein's theory of relativity or a proposition in nuclear physics. It isn't at all. Let's look at how practical it actually is. Every man and woman who has joined AA and intends to stick has, without realizing it, made a beginning on step 3. Isn't it true that in all matters touching upon alcohol, each of them has decided to turn his or her life over to the care, protection, and guidance of Alcoholics Anonymous? Already a willingness has been achieved to cast out one's own will and one's own ideas about the problem in favor of those suggested by AA. So, just by making the step to go to AA and to go to meetings and to listen and talk to others and to get a sponsor to even start the steps, you're already showing that willingness and opening that key, opening that door to change your life. Because, you guys, if you're not willing and you don't even want to try, then I used to not be willing to. I used to say, no, I'm not going to meetings. I don't want a sponsor. I don't want nobody telling me what to do. I don't want to have to call somebody every day. I just don't want to do it, you know? And whenever I, like, really thought about it, you guys, I needed something. I needed it. I needed to let someone else guide my life. Do you know what I mean? And that's what my sponsor did for me, is she helped me to make better decisions and taught me a new way to live. you know. And Misty, I saw your comment. And I know a lot of people that are like me who are on Suboxone have had a bad experience in AA or NA, and I promise you guys that's not the way the program of AA is done. And those are just bad people misinterpreting it and saying the wrong things, because Alcoholics Anonymous has no opinion on outside issues, and as long as you're prescribing your medication by your doctor and you're taking it as prescribed, they don't have an opinion on it. So I really, 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 really would encourage anybody who, has had a bad taste in their mouth or had a bad experience going to AA to try one more time for me, because I had the same experience, and I went back, and I've been going back to meetings, and it's been so amazing. And it's not even about, like, my sponsor, she goes to Celebrate Recovery. I have a Celebrate, she got sober in AA, and we worked the AA steps, but she goes to Celebrate Recovery. She doesn't even go to meetings with me. It's like not even about her. It's about like my friends and the people and the just being around other people that are sober. Like, I wouldn't have those other people to be around and those good experiences to have, and those, it's just good for me. It's really, really helped me. And I've gotten to work the steps, and the steps are what have given me like a healing, because I don't know, I always wanted to get high, guys. Like, I always wanted to get high. I never didn't want to get high. And I know that a lot of people will argue with me, and they'll say, well, you're on Suboxone, so that's keeping you sober. You guys, I promise you, like, I don't want to shoot methamphetamine anymore. I don't want to eat Xanax anymore. I don't want to go out and drink alcohol. I don't want to shoot up cocaine. Like, the desire to stop using and drinking anything has been removed from me, and it's only because of working the 12 steps. Like, and those 12 steps brought me closer to my higher power, which is God. And God has delivered me from that addiction, that obsessive thinking is what he delivered me from. I know, Misty, and that's okay. If I'm helping you and I'm bringing this to you, and that makes you feel comfortable, I just want you to always promise me that you will talk to me whenever you're struggling. And because this is the thing, when we don't go around other people that are in recovery, it's easy for us to talk ourselves into that we're okay. And it's easy for us to say, because we're not around other people that are in recovery too, it's easy for us to keep secrets and justify maybe behaviors. Maybe we have been doing some stuff that we shouldn't be doing, but nobody knows, because we're not going around anybody else that's in recovery. We're not having fellowship time with other sober women, and we're not getting honest with anyone else. So I just want you to promise me that you're talking to somebody, and that you're getting honest with somebody about how you're feeling. You're getting honest with somebody about what you're going through, because that's what's going to happen. Our addiction is doing push-ups inside of us right now, getting stronger as we speak. And you guys know, even with working diligently on my program, even with going to meetings, talking to my sponsor, my addiction will say to me little things like, call in to work today. What about the other day when I wanted to lose weight? Go get Adipex. Have your doctor give you a prescription for Adipex so you can lose weight. Y'all, I will be shooting meth if I do that. And that's my old thinking. That's my addiction trying to trick me up, because we're human and our mind is powerful. And my mind will almost tell me that I'm cured. Oh, girl, you got this. You don't need to go to meetings. I don't need to go to meetings. I've been doing so good. 3 years now, and I haven't picked up once. I haven't relapsed at all. You guys, I promise you, that is my addiction saying that stuff, because I might be doing good. And that's all fine and well. Hey, Avalon! But 3 years isn't shit compared to all the time I spent out there using. So I just know for me, like, I know I'm manipulative. Good, Misty, good. I know that my own self, I will manipulate my help me stay accountable. That's what I mean. And that's what AA does for me. It helps me have an accountability, you know, and it helps me have other people around me that care about me, that, you know, help me stay accountable, and the fellowship. It means a lot to me, and I really, really enjoy it. So that's what I just want you guys to have, people that you can count on, that keep you accountable and that help you and that you can talk to. So that way you're not alone. I love you too, Avalon. We're just reading the step 3 now. Okay, so let's see. Okay. Every man and woman and intends to stick has, without realizing it, made a beginning on step 3. Isn't it true that in all matters touching upon alcohol, each of them has decided to turn his or her life over to the care, protection, and guidance of Alcoholics Anonymous? Hey, Neil? Already a willingness has been achieved to cast out one's own will and one's own ideas about the alcohol problem in favor of those suggested by AA. Any willing newcomer feels sure AA is the only safe harbor for the foundering vessel he has become. Now, if this is not turning one's will and life over to a newfound providence, then what is? But suppose, as it certainly will. Yes, respecting alcohol, I guess I have still maintained my independence. Nothing is going to turn me into a nonentity. If I keep on turning my life and my will over to the care of something or somebody else, what will become of me? I'll look like the hole in the donut. This, of course, is the process by which instinct and logic always seek to bolster egotism and so frustrate spiritual development. The trouble is that this kind of thinking takes no real account of the facts. And the facts seem to be these. The more we become willing to depend on a higher power, the more independent we actually are. Therefore, dependence, as AA practices it, is really a means of gaining true independence of the spirit. Listen to that. The more we become willing to depend upon a higher power, the more independent we actually are. Therefore, dependence, as AA practices it, is actually a means of gaining true independence of the spirit. So through leaning and depending on God, our higher power, the universe, through that dependence, we become independent and we become stronger in our recovery, and we gain our life back, and we learn how to make better choices, and we learn how to stop doing crimes and lie and cheat and manipulate, and we learn like that maybe our best thinking is what got us here, and maybe listening to somebody else can help us out a little bit, and turning our will over to our higher power isn't half bad anyway, you know? It's just like it's just like a whole spiritual experience, you guys. And I look forward to you guys having that experience too. And I hope that, like, just me reading these steps to you and kind of going over them a little bit is inspiring you to maybe want to change or try something that you haven't ever tried before. You know, of course, this isn't a substitute for working them with your sponsor, but it's a way to get you introduced to what's going on, you know? So I really like that. I think I'm going to end here with there. So, because I really like how, through depending on a higher power, we become more independent. And I think that is just so awesome, because it's so true. Because I remember when I first started out, I was a slave, you guys, a slave to my addiction. And it's like today I actually feel like I'm not a slave to my addiction anymore. Like, I have a life and I have good things in my life, you know? but then we were afraid to give our life to God. Exactly, Jordan. And it was like, what are you afraid of? Like, I would much rather, now that I'm in the situation and I've done it, I would much rather be over here praising my higher power and, you know, taking the time out in the morning to thank him for my recovery, to give him, thank him for my life and the things that I have today, than I would to be going out there in the streets sucking a D for a pill or a hit, you know, or going out there and having to hustle up money and steal stuff and pawn it. And I had no fear of any of those things. Like, I didn't have a fear of losing my freedom, you know? I didn't have a fear of losing my life. And today it's like, I want to be alive. Today I want to have those things, and I want to be a better person. And I didn't think I'd ever be like this. I thought I was always going to be I just thought I was always going to be out there having to hustle and just sorry, you know? I'm just grateful to be alive today, you guys. I'm grateful to be alive and to have y'all in my life, because I feel like without you guys keeping me accountable, and without my sponsor, without my son, like, I wouldn't be here today. And I'm grateful for y'all. I'm grateful for y'all, and I'm grateful for my platform, even though it's a small one, to be able to come over here and share with you guys what the steps have done for me and how they make me feel. And I really, really do try to live them in my life every day. And I really try to be a good person every day, you guys. I might make mistakes, but I really, really, really try to give back what was given to me. And I'm a mom, and I'm at home with my son a lot, but I do what I can do to help others. And I hope that you guys know that. If you ever need anything, you guys can always message me on Facebook. I will get right back to you. I promise. So, I'm all kinds of emotional lately, you guys. Please forgive me. I'm so grateful, Nicole. Oh, Misty, I care. You know I do, girl. I know what it's like. I know what it's like. You're not alone, okay? Just know that. You're not alone, and I do care about you. I love you so much, girl. I think about all you guys, and I might not think specifically, oh, I wonder what Misty's doing. You know what I mean? Because, I'm going to be straight up honest with you guys. There's so many of you guys, but when I see your name and your little avatar pop up, I'm like, oh, let me go, you know. And I saw your post in the MAC group today, and I thought, I've really been trying to work hard, to get people over there posting and talking and supporting each other, but it's hard because I can't go live. I don't know when I'm going to be able to go live on Facebook, you guys. Like, it's literally been like 2 weeks, I feel like. How long will they have me suspended from going live? It's like, hello, don't they know that I need to be over there? I guess it's a good thing, because I've got to focus on my YouTube channel and doing this little series over here. You listen, Misty, you just do what you can do, and listen, this is the thing. Even if you're posting because you're having a hard time, or you need advice, or you want to go live because you're having a hard time, and you want to talk about it, and you want some people to bounce some ideas off of, that's what our group is for, you guys. It's for y'all to be able to talk to each other and bounce ideas off of each other. And y'all know that all you have to do is tag me in your posts, so I know it's going to pop up in my notifications, and I will be over there to give you whatever advice or whatever, you know, something you need to talk about. I'm there, you know. And if I don't know, if I can't think of if I don't have the answer, or I haven't been through, but all the time, if I'm talking to y'all about something, it's because I've experienced it myself, and I only give advice from things that I've experienced, you know, because I really can't tell you what to do if I haven't been there before, but I can tell you what I would do, you know, or what I've done. So anyway, step 3, that was pretty cool. I'm excited. So next we're going to just touch on step 4, because step 4 is a really crucial step, and it's a step where a lot of people get afraid, and they think that they can't do it, and that they're going to be stuck on it, and a lot of people stop at step 4 and don't ever start again. So step 4 is where it's basically like a case history of all the things we've ever done wrong, good, bad, the ugly, and the indifferent. And out of step 4 is where, in step 4, and out of that into 5, 6, 7, and 8, 9 is where you do your amends list. You're making your amends. So we'll get to all that. But it's been about 40 minutes. I hope you guys, I'm trying to make them a little bit shorter because the other day we were on here for an hour and I thought, who is going to watch that? So I'll be back on tomorrow night, same time, about 7 p.m., 6:30, 7 p.m. Central Time. Okay? All right. Love y'all.